ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Power Vacuum. I'm your host, Belmont, and we have a non-Nintendo related update for Power World. Well, Pocket Pair. They say Power World right here in the beginning because for some reason they don't want to say Pocket Pair, despite the fact that Nintendo's lawsuit has made Pocket Pair a mainstream name. But from PC Gamer, Power World Studio changes its mind about releasing its co-op Hollow Knight-like in early access. Will go straight to 1.0. Did they call it a Hollow Knight like game? Like, did Pocket Pair make that decision? Because this might be the issue they have is quit comparing your game to other games. Let other people make these comparisons. Now, if PC Gamer's the one that made that comparison. I apologize to Pocket Pair. No, but just call a game what it is. This game is like that game. That game is like this game. I'm so tired of hearing the dash like thing. Rogue light. Those things annoy me. Souls like. It's just annoying, right? Because like you might as well call Souls like games Zelda like because they play much like the original Zelda games, and where there is no difficulty, it's just the set world with the set rules, and you have to learn the patterns and figure out how to beat the challenges. I'm rambling. I'm not even past the headline and I'm rambling. Let me get into this. Pocket Pair is making final adjustments to Nevergrave, The Witch and the Curse before full release. Some interesting art. I like how her hat's just kind of floating above her head. 2 years ago, Power World answered the question, what if Pokemon had base building and multiplayer? Nevergrave, The Witch and the Curse, Pocket Pair's next game, developed by a new internal team, is giving the same treatment to Hollow Knight. Announced in 2023, Nevergrave was first planned to release in early access later that year. Everything about its art, animations, and boss battles screams Hollow Knight, but like Power World, Nevergrave is wearing its imitations on its sleeve and instead focusing on what it brings to the table. Four-player co-op base building and roguelite format and a Mario Odyssey-like ability to possess enemy creatures. Fuck. Oh my god. Quit using the term like. Ugh. In late 2023, Nevergrave's early access date was pushed to early 2024, and soon after, Pocket Pair released a demo for Steam Next Fest. Following the mixed feedback of that demo, Pocket Pair decided to postpone the early access launch and focus on improvements. In its first Steam page update in over a year, Pocket Pair now says Nevergrave will forego early access altogether, releasing in its full 1.0 form instead. Bravo, bravo. I would rather a game wait to come out and be complete. No day one updates, no patching. Just here's the game. It's done. Have fun. That's what I want. That's what I miss about gaming the most. Due to valuable feedback from many players during the demo period, we have decided to deliver the game in its complete form rather than a staged early access, the Steam update reads. The development team is currently making final adjustments to ensure that you receive the best gaming experience from day one. Stay tuned. If they fucking manage to achieve this, Pocket Pair will have slotted themselves into the one of the greatest modern gaming companies because that's what the industry is lacking right now. Complete games on day one, right? So many games released that are just incomplete, dodgy messes that people have grown accustomed to it to the point where they expect and plan for day one updates. You should not be planning for a day one update. There should not be a day one update needed unless your game has some sort of online multiplayer mode that requires hot fixing because they weren't prepared for the server load because they never are. Even Diablo had this problem. One of the biggest online multiplayer games wasn't prepared for the server load that they received, which is fucking absurd. It's a mainline Blizzard title, but Pocket Pair is not a mainline title. Well, it might be mainline now due to Nintendo's lawsuit and the success of all their titles, but I see this game doing pretty well to begin with. One, people love retro style games, and this one has like a kind of a catchy title, Nevergrave. That's just a catchy title. And then The Witch and the Curse, like subtitle kind of thing, or a hyphenated colon title, whatever you want to call it. It is after the colon, but if they can release a day one game ready with no updates, I applaud this company to the end. And well, I still stand behind them because I think what Nintendo and Pokemon are doing to them is bullshit. But let's get back to the article. So not only is the whole early access thing in the rear view, but by the sound of it, the studio is gearing up to release the whole thing relatively soon. Unfortunately, that also means last year's demo has gone offline while PocketPair prepares for 1.0. In all my years of covering Steam, this might be the first time I've seen a studio plan for early access and decide against it instead of the opposite. Maybe the team decided the demo feedback was good enough and it'd get more done by hunkering down instead of treating every early access update like its own release. As someone who has burnt out on too many early access games before they ever reach their full potential, I respect this strategy. Yep. I mean, I could say it. Look at Ark. I never got into Ark, and I don't care how many people tell me that it's good and it's a great game now. They never fully escaped beta status before releasing their first DLC, which to me is just a big fuck you to the players, right? We haven't fixed the game completely, but here's more for you to buy. No, right? Games need to stop doing this. If you want to do like early access as play testing to do server stress tests and things like that, fine. By all means, you do need those kind of tests done, and they can only really you can only really server stress test by letting everyone play your game. But this, I don't know, this plague of early access, day one patches, day one fixes, just it needs to end. We need to cure ourselves of this. We need to get back to releasing games complete and whole on day one, and the world will begin to heal. It just that's it. The world will heal. The universe will be a better place if we can get back to that world. But there you have it. Nevergrave supposedly releasing as a complete game on day one. So we'll have to wait and see. I noticed there was no official release date, but given that they were originally planning for a 2024 release, you could probably say it's a safe bet that they might be coming out later this year. But that's all I have for this article. This is your host, Belmont, signing out.